goods.
Jenna Levac is already making noise as a freshman for Ohio State. She brings so much difficulty on vault and floor, as well as such consistency to lead the team early on. Then there's Alexis Hankins, the junior from Omaha, Nebraska. She loves performing, she loves competing, and here she is in front of her home crowd, continuing to gain momentum, specifically on floor exercise.
And Nebraska, super young but super talented.
Kinsey Davis had a spectacular freshman season last year. She's a sophomore this year. She comes in with a lot of difficulty, but mainly gaining consistency on all 4 events. And keep an eye out for her bar routine. It is beautiful. Then there's Emma Spence, the freshman who was an Olympic alternate for Team Canada. She's starting to get her feet under her as she continues to work toward being a freshman athlete and a standout for this Nebraska Cornhusker team.
Speaking of standouts, Heather Brink, the first Husker to score a perfect 10 herself, a 2-time NCAA champion in 2000, winning the all-around and the vault. And this is the vault order. It'll be Higgins, Spence, Pieringer, Hall, Davis, and Curtis with their season average at 48.719.
This is an event for Nebraska where they really have an opportunity to hone in on the landings.
And the head coach for the Ohio State Buckeyes, Meredith Paulasiewicz, she won a national championship with Utah in 92 and 94. You take a look at her bars order, Olivia, it'll be Schweitzer, Hankins, Edwards, Berger, Miller, and Riccardi. Their season average 48.913. That's top 25 in the nation.
And Meredith told us when we spoke to her earlier this week that this is an event that really can gain a lot of momentum. They're starting to see more hits, gaining consistency. Now they just have to hit those handstands, stick those dismounts, and keep it rolling.
Let's talk about what the judges are looking for in these events. Let's start with the vault.
Vault goes so quickly, as we know. It's a mere seconds, so there's a lot happening at once. The big points of emphasis are going to be heightened distance off the vault, making sure your body position is completely flat in the air. Chest position on the landing, you want to make sure that your chest is up when you land, and of course, that all-important stuck landing.
Brilliant information as we get ready for what has been an exciting Big Ten season. Almost halfway through, a few weeks away for the Big Fives, and then Ohio State Fives, and then Ohio State, who is in Lincoln, will be the host for the Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championships. Look forward to being in Columbus with all of you. And how about what the judges are looking for on the uneven bars, Olivia Karras?
Uneven bars is so technical, which means there's a lot of room for error. The most important thing is tight body positioning throughout, keeping your legs together, your toes pointed. Again, heightened amplitude of releases and dismounts, the bigger, the better. Handstands, 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 Dean, they need to be perpendicular on top of the bar. You have a 10-degree window where you can be a little off, but then of course, sky-high stuck dismount.
You really do need to hold those handstands, Olivia, so it was worth saying that 3 times indeed. Again, Nebraska will start on the vault with Caitlin Higgins. Nebraska 1-1 in Big Ten. The career high for Caitlin Higgins is a 9.8. Remember, she's a transfer from Minnesota. She has had a 9.725 her first time up versus Illinois. Caitlin Higgins leading things off for the Cornhuskers.
Caitlin's going to do a full twisting Yurchenko, very common vault. A nice job there, great way to start it off for Nebraska. She landed a bit with her chest down, as we mentioned just a couple moments ago. That's a big point of emphasis. Nice block, nice distance off the table, chest down a bit, popped backwards for a hop on the landing. The judges are going to have to take a deduction on that, likely about a 1/10 for the size of the hop.
Ohio State, number 24 in the country, up after a 49.25 last week, led by Zoe Schweitzer. You see her career high, 9.9, season high last week, 9.85 against Rutgers.
Great job hitting that first handstand. She's settling in nicely. Excellent bail to handstand transition. It's a required element. Little shy of handstand there on the blindfold, but nice job on that landing. It looked like she stuck it and then reacted just a bit. Had a slight foot movement. Won't be a large deduction for that. Notice she was off that 10-degree handstand that we mentioned earlier, and then the stuck landing, just the slide of the foot. Oh, so close to a stick, but really nice job as a leadoff performer.
From Team Canada, Emma Spence, Canadian Championship bronze medalist on the bars in her youth days as well. Her career high as a freshman, 9.725, set twice versus Iowa State and Iowa.
Emma's also going to do a full twisting Yurchenko. This whole lineup has 9.95 start values. Very nice job by the freshman. That was significant improvement from last week, specifically on the landing. Nice block off the table, little bent knees in the air, but excellent chest positioning on the landing and just a little scoot backwards.
Nice work from Emma Spence. Up next for the Ohio State Buckeyes on bars, as we're still waiting on the score for Zoe Schweitzer. As you mentioned, just a little bit uneven as she tried to balance, but then just a little hop as well, so they must be adding all that up right now, Olivia.
Definitely some nerves. She had the landing and then made the little foot adjustment, which it happens.
And as you mentioned, from Omaha, Nebraska, Alexis Hankins, a career high of 9.875. She had a 9.8 last week on the Big Ten Network against Rutgers.
Alexis opens up with a sky-high Jaeger release. Oh no. Oh, she just looked a little off going. She just looked a little off going into that release move to catch the bar. She did touch the bar, which is very important. That means that the skill does count. It just is a 5/10 deduction for the break in the routine as she pops right back up to complete her exercise. Nice job getting back on track with that pack salto. Little shy there on the handstand, looking for a stick. And just a hop in place, that's not a stuck landing, unfortunately. And of course, she's bummed about that fall in front of a home crowd, but I expect her to come back like nothing happened in the remainder of this competition.
Has to be some extra adrenaline being from Omaha, Nebraska, just down the road from Lincoln. Kylie Pieringer, the junior from Ramsey, New Jersey, career high 9.825, season high 9.75, first two meets of the season.
Heather Brink was really excited about Kylie being back in this vault lineup. Great job by Kylie Pieringer. Excellent height and distance off the table. Looked like she piked down in her body positioning at the end, which resulted in the hop backwards. So nice in the air, little bit piked down there and pretty big hop backwards. Unfortunately, that is going to be a large deduction, but excellent seeing her back in this lineup.
Pieringer just saw Spence with a new career high on vault with a 9.85, and Higgins to lead off set a new season high with a 9.775. We'll see what score Pieringer will get. And now a little extra pressure on Lexi Edwards. So Hankins with the fall. The Buckeyes will be hoping not to use that. 8.9. Here comes Lexi Edwards, the junior from Richmond. She has had 3 9.825s this season, including last week against Rutgers.
Lexi is such a dynamic bar worker. Nice toe handstand connected to a very nicely executed Maloney into a pack salto. Gorgeous handstand position on that half turn. She's been working really hard on that, and it totally paid off right there. Looking for a stick. Oh, just a hop forward. That was the best routine I've seen Lexi Edwards do this season. Landed just shy of that 10-degree window, and the double tuck was beautiful. She just had to hop forward. Hop forward is technically an under rotation on that skill, so the judges will have to take that into account, but what an amazing routine. That was so nice.
Another freshman for Heather Brink, Aisha Hall from Rogers, Arizona, Hopes and Dreams Gymnastics.
Good vault by Asia. Looked like her chest was down on that landing, which resulted in the hop forward and lifting of the leg. See, she gets really nice height and distance, and then just the chest down. Her eyes looked like they were looking at her feet instead of at the vault table, which would lift her chest up. But as a freshman, she's still learning how to compete every weekend and make those adjustments.
Sticking with freshmen, Stephanie Berger, the freshman from Boston. She won her first title as a Buckeye against Denver with a 9.85. Last week, a 9.825 against Rutgers.
Good job working that first handstand. Very pretty Maloney into a lovely bail handstand. Had to muscle up that handstand just a little bit. Nice job. It looked like what we like to call a college stick, which isn't exactly perfect control on the landing, but definitely minimizing a deduction that would be a step or a hop. She sees the ground and then up on her toes, lacks tiny bit of control. That's being extremely picky, but nice job keeping the positive momentum going after the fall from Hankins.
We open the show talking about Kinsey Davis, the sophomore from Huntersville, North Carolina, Southeastern Gymnastics.
Kinsey has a lovely full twisting Yurchenko. Excellent job. That was the cleanest vault I've seen her do this season. Such minimal movement on the landing, and that comes from the beginning of the vault. Notice how she lands with her chest up, eyes up, looking at the vault, not looking down at her feet, and really paid off on that landing.
Nebraska posted 9 season-high scores in their last meet versus Illinois. Kinsey Davis is here. Unfortunately, Kinsey Roby is out. She claimed her 7th career individual title versus Illinois. That's a big loss as we move back over to the Buckeyes. Kobe Miller, the junior from Mason, Ohio, won 2 bar titles this season and also had a 9.85 against Rutgers.
Very nice first handstand to open up this routine. So pretty on that Maloney to bail connection. Colby is such a natural bar worker. I saw her nail this dismount and warm up. If she can do it, it'll be a big number. That was phenomenal with extra pressure from the Hankins fall. Colby Miller, the veteran, delivers when Ohio State needs it. Check out the height and the execution in the air, sees the ground, controlled landing, and the team goes nuts.
Well, you said it. You were watching her in the warm-up. That's exactly what she did.
Carbon copy of what we saw in warm-up, and with the adrenaline and nerves, a veteran knows how to hone it in and make that happen.
Davis with a new career high at 9.875 now makes way for Michaela Curtis, the senior from Savannah, Georgia, Summit Gymnastics, career high 9.875.
And she's set up nicely from Davis. Great job by Michaela. Notice how she floated at the end, flares out that vault, still a little bit low on the chest. But check out the distance, the float, so nice, and just the chest down there, which resulted in the hop backwards and a very quick salute turn to minimize deduction.
Kayla Curtis, who last week captured her first ever title for Nebraska on the floor. So we expect to see her a little bit later. Now we move to Nicole Riccardi, the sophomore from East Northport, New York. She won the bars against Penn State and Rutgers with a 9.9.
And they really need that right here. Nice job working through that release move. She had crazy height. Nice transition to the low bar. A lovely handstand half turn finishing on top of the bar. short on that handstand, but she goes into a unique stalter, into a double tuck and a stick. Ohio State makes it out of that bar lineup without having to count the low score from Alexis Hankins. Check this out. She floats that release a little far away from the bar, but manages to catch it with her fingertips and caps it off with a sky-high double tuck. Check out the chest position on the landing. Amazing job.
Meredith Policific was very high on the Buckeyes on the bars, and she did say when they get Tori Vetter back, who debuted with a 9-9, that'll make this lineup even better. So a lot of hugs right now for Ohio State on bars. Jenna Layvac now, exhibition. Of course, this won't count, but a good opportunity for Jenna Layvac to start to get in the rotation potentially for the bars for the Buckeyes.
And we highlighted her at the top of the show for a reason. She is a competitor. She wants in this bar lineup, but we just saw 6 great routines, even with the miss from Hankins. So this is an opportunity for her to prove herself. Nice clear hip to big Ginger release, immediately down to a shoot over. Looks like she had to fix her grip there briefly. Nice working through that blind fall to a double tuck dismount, opens it up, sees the ground, and just has to hop forward very minimally, but that's a nice routine for Meredith to have in her back pocket going into championships. Excellent height on that dismount, just the little hop forward, but all smiles over on bars for Ohio State.
Meredith Policific and the Buckeyes are rolling as Kobe Miller ties her career high and sets a new season high with a 9.925 on the bars. Nebraska, they set a new team season high on the vault with a 49.150. Both teams off to a rockin' start. Both teams off to a rockin' start. Second rotation around the corner right here on the Big Ten Network. This weekend, stream women's gymnastics live on the Big Ten Plus app. Friday, the Huskers head to College Park to take on the Terrapins. Then Saturday, the Buckeyes face the Gophers. Download the Big Eyes face the Gophers. Download the Big Ten Plus app and subscribe today. The Ohio State Buckeyes, they set a new team season high on the uneven bars with a 49.325. Their previous high was set last week on the Big Ten Network at a 49.25. Because of that, they have a slim lead over the host, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Let's take a look at their uneven scores. As I mentioned, Olivia Karras, a new season high.
Exactly what we talked about at the top of the show, Dean. These teams are gaining momentum, and that's exactly what we saw from Ohio State on uneven bars. If they can keep this rolling on vault, they have a really exciting meet ahead of them.
Nebraska with a 49.150, also with a season high. As we take a look at Heather Brink's Nebraska Cornhusker scores on the vault, solid, particularly with Kinsey Davis in that 9.875.
Excellent job by Kinsey Davis. She so honed in on that landing. She's been working toward it, but this was the first time in competition this season we saw her really nail it, and that's exciting for this Nebraska team.
Heather Brink talking about the bars. She said it's been a big improvement for us. It's all about hitting their routines, get a good start as they're led by Catherine Thaler on the leadoff. Alongside Olivia Karras, I'm Dean Linke. Great to be in Lincoln, Nebraska for Big Ten women's gymnastics. And yes, Michigan obviously capturing the attention of everybody, but it really allows you to focus in on all 10 Big Ten teams in women's gymnastics.
There's a lot of excitement happening in the Big Ten Conference right now, and although Michigan's amazing season so far is catching a lot of national attention, these teams we're watching right now are also improving significantly. Big Ten championships are going to be insane. I am so looking forward to all the teams being together in one arena. receiving the same judging from the same judges, and seeing how our conference continues to progress year after year.
Reminding you that the Ohio State Buckeyes, Columbus, Ohio, will be your host for the Big Ten Women's Gymnastics Championship. That'll be March 19th. Meredith Paula-Civic really excited. Of course, the Covelli Center, an outstanding venue, pretty new as well.
It's a perfect venue for this Big Ten championship, specifically coming off of the last 2 years in this conference.
Ohio State 27th in the country on vault. Their high score is a 49.025 set last week, and they're led by Lexi Edwards, 13th in the conference, 35th overall, averaging a 9.875. They will have a freshman leading off, and Caitlin Grimes, a freshman from LaGrange, Illinois, who 3 times already has hit the number of 9.725.
And Ohio State on vault has a slight edge over Nebraska. They have one sole 10.0 start value vault, and that's from Jenna Layback, who we highlighted earlier. So if this team can hone in on the landings, they have a slight edge already ahead of Nebraska.
Grimes, the 2021 runner-up in the Illinois State Championships.
Caitlin is going to do a full twisting Yurchenko. Very nice job opening up this vault lineup for Ohio State. She just needs to absorb the landing, and you'll see that here. She was reacting to the mat by bouncing out of it instead of letting her knees bend, absorb the landing, be patient, and you see Meredith Paula-Civic giving her some feedback. I know that's what she's telling her.
So we move over to Nebraska on the bars, where Heather Brink has said the bars has been a big improvement for the Cornhuskers. Thaler, career high 9.85, season high 9.725.
Great start there with a nice handstand perfectly on top of the bar.
When you say muscle your handstands, what do you mean by that?
Bars is all about technique, and when you're off a little bit, you have to really use your strength to make it up to those handstand positions. Catherine's doing a great job using her technique, a little off on that blind full, but that right there is a controlled, stuck landing. And so far, Nebraska is 1 for 1 on sticks, a big point of emphasis that we were told from Heather Brink. Amazing control there. She sees the ground, she sees the landing, and the team knows it. She has started them off well.
Nicole Riccardi, the sophomore from East Northport, New York. 9.875 career high, ready to roll for the Buckeyes.
Nicole is also going to compete a full twisting Yurchenko. Very nicely done. Lots of improvement there from Nicole on the body positioning on the landing. Still that hop backwards. Again, that's a huge point of emphasis on vault. You'll notice she does pike down a little bit. Great improvement there for her.
Riccardi ranks 10th nationally with an average of 9.9 on the vault this season. And she'll get the chain to celebrate another outstanding performance for the Buckeyes. We now move to Genesis Gibson, a freshman from Prosper, Texas, part of the World Olympic Gymnastics Academy. She had a 9.8 against Iowa for a career high.
Great first handstand from Genesis. They're really taking their time on those handstand positions. A little quick there on that packed salto, which resulted in the handstand half turn being over slightly. Lovely handstand on the high. Lovely handstand on the high bar. Now she had some trouble with this double layout in warm-up. Got to get the toes up. Nice job there, just the step to the side, but she really struggled on that in warm-up, and the team knows it. She needed that hit for her confidence on uneven bars. Nice job setting it up, and just the step, the team is so thrilled for her. Love to see that camaraderie in NCAA gymnastics.
Well done. We move back over to the vault. We need to tell you that Caitlin Grimes, the freshman, set the table with a new career high at 9.75. Now it's Sydney Jennings, the senior from Rochester, Michigan, had a 9.8 against Rutgers, actually won the vault against Penn State with a 9.85.
check out this vault. She has such a lovely positioning in the air, flared it out to try to find the stick, and unfortunately had to hop forward. Again, we reiterated a lot. Chest positioning is so important when it comes to vaulting. Gorgeous in the air, flares it out. The eyes are down, which results in the hop forward. She can get those eyes up, and that's an easy stick for Sydney Jennings.
She'll get the Buckeye chain as well. Getting ready for Nebraska on the bars is one of two Italians on the team. Clara Colombo and Martina Coleman, both from Italy. Heather Brink telling us last year that she found them in this little tiny gym where you really couldn't have enough room to do a full vault, but this Italian, Colombo, the junior, has been solid with a career high of 9.875.
Very difficult opening element that's called an eagle grip, where she completely twists her wrists around. Nice job there on the pack salto. She had trouble on that last week, so we love seeing her come back strong. Again, very difficult element there. She wants the stick. Beautiful job by Clara Colombo. She put her chest down a teeny bit at the end, but her feet did not move, and that is called a stick. She sees the ground, little bit of an adjustment there with the hips, but Heather Brink loves it.
Now Lexi Edwards, the junior, she had a 9.85 last week. She's already won 2 vault titles this season with a 9.875 against Denver and Arkansas. Lexi Edwards, the junior from Richmond, Virginia.
And Lexi can drill this landing. Nice job by Lexi Edwards, teeniest little scoot back, but she has been so consistent for Ohio State in her career on vault. Great pop off the table. Her body positioning is so beautiful in the air, and just such a teeny little scoot back, but that should be a nice score for Lexi Edwards.
High fives going to Lexi Edwards. Emma Spence, the all-arounder for Nebraska, the alternate for the Canadian Olympic team from the Dynamo Club, 9.85 twice, including last week against Illinois.
Beautiful first handstand. These handstands from Nebraska have been so nice. Little break there. Looked like she let go a tad bit early on her pack salto and had to do a little back hip circle, but keeps the routine moving. Great handstand there. And just looking for the stick. Slight adjustment backward, but that right there shows so much grit in Emma Spence. She could have easily hopped off the bar, but kept moving and capped it off with a nice double tuck and just a small foot shuffle at the end.
Both teams delivering. Colombo with a new season high on bars at 9.85. Edwards ties her season high with a 9.875 on vault. And now Jenna Lavac, the talented freshman, career high 9.875 last week against Rutgers.
Jenna has an opportunity here to go big. Really nice big. Really nice job. Very unique vault we don't see as often. It is a round off onto the board, a full twist onto the table, and a pike off. So much twisting going on. The vault has so much speed that leads her to hop backwards more than you would see on these full twisting Yurchenko. She has to open up just a tad bit early, but that's a 10.0 start value, so she has an edge up from the other vaults we've seen earlier in this competition.
Big time talent, just a freshman. Kinsey Davis, last year set her career high at 9.95. Her season high 9.9 against Iowa. Last week, a 9.875. Heather Brink calls her, in her opinion, a world-class bar swinger.
This bar routine is so stacked with difficulty. Oh no. Oh, she had so much height on that Hindorf release and looked like she just let go a little late. See, she can see the bar and doesn't get her hands all the way over. Oh, the height was just so great and just missed it with getting her hands over. Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, we can tell you that layback with a new season and career high 9.875 as we see Davis get back on the bars.
Nice job bringing it back. Very solid bail to handstand. Great control there on that last handstand. So much speed into the double layout, just a hop backwards, but Kinsey Davis truly is a world-class bar worker. There's so much difficulty packed into that routine, and when she hits it, it will score high.
Raina Malice, the anchor for Meredith Paula Civic, the junior from Dublin, Ohio, 9.9 career high, 9.775 season high. She had a 9.75 last week against Rutgers. She trained at Buckeye Gymnastics.
This is a great opportunity for Raina. Hop to the side, but that's a nice vault to cap off this vault rotation. She gets a good pop off the table, not as much distance as her other teammates, and just a scoot to the side, which will be a directional deduction that the judges will take, but that's 6 hit vaults from Ohio State.
So Davis a 9.20 after the fall, and now it'll be a freshman back in the anchor spot, Emma Simpton. She's from Dallas, Metroplex Gymnastics. She had a 9.575 in her first meet, had a slip up against BYU, did not participate in the last two, but back in the lineup tonight.
This is an exciting opportunity for her to gain her confidence after a fall. Very nice amplitude on that pack salto. Little muscle up there on the handstand. She did stay within the 10 degrees. A nice sky-high double layout with a step forward. It's a little under-rotated. Her chest was down on the landing, but that's a hit routine. She needed to get her toes up just a little bit more before she let go of the bar. But again, as a freshman, she's still learning how to compete under pressure, and this is only her second bar routine as a Husker.
The Ohio State Buckeyes have already clinched a new team season high on vault with a 49.125, topping their mark last week against Rutgers. We move to the third rotation, the Buckeyes and the Cornhuskers.
The hugs, the excitement, oh, my heart. I just can't get over it.
Just amazing, and because there was 3 teams, that is why the rotations were mixed up a little bit. As you mentioned, Gabby finishes with that 10, they pop over to the vault, and you can't believe it. 1, 2, 3, everybody going crazy. Anybody that cared even just a little bit about gymnastics was going crazy.
So exciting and so great for the Big Ten Conference.
You see Ohio State through 2 rotations with a 98.450. Nebraska had a flat 98. Kobe Miller, by the way, a 9.925 on bars, is the highest score this season for any Ohio State gymnast and ties the highest mark on any event this season. Layback and Edwards have had 9.925s on the floor, as you see the scores right there for Ohio State on the vault.
Led by Lexi Edwards and Jenna Layvack. Great job honing in on those deductions and going 9.875.
Take a look at Nebraska, what they did on the uneven bars here at the Devaney Center. Of course, we saw that fall, but 19.65. What are your thoughts on the bars?
Definitely a little blip in the lineup that Nebraska was not looking for, specifically that break by Kinsey Davis for a 9.2, but to see those first 3 athletes hit, really exciting and gaining a lot of momentum as they start to put together these lineups.
What are the judges looking for on the balance beam?
Oh, Dean, they're looking for perfection. There is so much going on in a balance beam routine. Specifically on your dance elements, you need to reach a perfect 180-degree split parallel to the balance beam. Tight body positioning on everything you do. The tighter you are, the better. Height and amplitude are always extremely important, and you guessed it, stuck landing at the end to cap it off.
This apparatus is paired with the floor, Olivia Karras. You know what the judges are looking for. Let's break it down. Let's break it down.
Floor exercise is both a performance and an exercise of tumbling and leaps. Specifically, the most important thing on floor is controlled lunge out of tumbling. Gymnasts can take a step backward if they keep their front foot planted. The height of the tumbling and the leap elements are so important. And then, of course, as we mentioned on balance beam, reaching that perfect 180-degree split is a requirement.
We started on the beam for Nebraska. They're 37th in the country with a high of 49.2, led by Caitlin Higgins, 7th in the conference. Their leadoff from Canada, Emma Spence, 9.825 set versus Iowa. Last week, she had a 9.8.
Very nice opening element, the candlestick mount. In a unique wolf turn, we see them a lot in elite gymnastics, and they're slowly trickling their way into NCAA. Nice job by Emma working through that front aerial. She was a little off and continued moving. Very solid side summy for the freshman. Nice switch leap to beat jump. Great job hitting that 180-degree split, as we mentioned earlier. Just the dismount here. She wants this stick. Very nice job for Emma Spence as the leadoff. Heather Brink told us the goal for balance beam is to work the beam, and I have to tell you, she just worked the beam. And the routine wasn't flawless, but she worked through it very nicely. You notice that shoulder dip on the front aerial, but kept it rolling for the two back handspring connection, and then such a nice exclamation point, sees the ground and controls that stick.
Heather Brink saying the beam was one of their strengths. She was right there to celebrate with Emma Spence. We move over to the Buckeyes. Savannah Gonzalez on the floor, 9.725. She will dance to an exotic and Latin theme, very artistic, according to her head coach, Meredith Polisivic.
Savannah is such a lovely dancer on this event, paired with very nice sky high tumbling. Opening pass is a double pike. Looks like she stepped out of bounds. Step out of bounds is a flat 1/10 deduction, regardless of if you step out with 1 foot or 2. So the judges will have to take that.
She is coming off a 9.825 career high last week against Rutgers.
Great job bringing it back on her combination pass, front layout to a front full. Lost a little control there on the double wolf turn.
Can't tell you that Spence ties her season and career high on the beam with a 9.825.
Final pass for Savannah. She's going to do a 1.5 twist to a punch with layout. Nice job there on that landing. It's very hard to have a first pass that doesn't go your way and then have to continue the routine as if nothing happened, and Savannah did a really nice job putting the first pass behind her. You notice she over-rotated there, lost her balance a bit and stepped out of bounds, but then brought it back nicely with this 1.5 into front layout connection.
Another youngster as Nebraska leading off with 2 freshmen. First Spence, now Aisha Hall, the freshman from Roger, Arkansas. 9.8 season high, 9.725 last week.
bobble there on her full turn. That is a requirement in balance beam. Back handspring layout, a little shaky on the landing, but her positioning in the air was lovely. Switch leap to split jump. Nice job hitting the 180 degrees, but a little shaky. She needs to settle down in this routine. And that is a fall for Asia Hall. That's 5/10 of a point as a deduction. And a very large break for Nebraska on beam. Round off 1.5 to finish it. She's definitely bummed about that fall. Up to the remainder of the lineup to get rid of that score. Notice she dips her right shoulder down, grabs her legs, and just couldn't bring it back to stay on balance beam.
You had just said she looked a little uneasy, and then the very next move she fell. Clearly it was in her head just a little bit.
It happens. Balance beam, in my opinion, is significantly more mental than physical. She's just gonna have to go back in the gym and act like it didn't happen and keep pushing forward.
Claire Gagliardi, the senior from Hubbard, Ohio, 9.925 3 times. Her season high last week, 9.9 against Rutgers.
And this is a fun routine. Sit back, grab your popcorn, and enjoy. So fun to watch on floor. She always goes all out in her routines.
You're right, grab your popcorn. She's got every movie out there included in this dance.
Just the last pass for Claire. She does a 2-pass floor routine, which is allowed. She packs all the difficulty into her 2 passes. Sky high double pike with a perfect controlled landing. That should be a big score, Dean. A big score, Dean.
Meredith Polisiewicz said she can handle whatever she gives her for choreography, and she showed it right here.
Especially when the great white sharks are coming after you in Jaws. And even with all the energy she exudes on the dance, she brings that as her last pass. Such a rock star.
So back over to the beam for Nebraska, the junior from Italy. Had a 9.625, her only time competing on the beam. That was against BYU.
Clara's already showing beautiful artistry in this routine. Remember, there's added pressure on the remainder of this lineup following Asia Hall's fall. Lovely switch leap to split jump. Definitely hit 180 degrees, no doubt. Very nice back handspring layout series. She had a little bit of a bent knee on that layout, but no deduction on the landing. Front aerial to split jump. She's moving so confidently through this routine. Little bobble there on the full turn. a stick. Now that's how you come back from a fall.
Indeed, solid performance.
Highlight of the routine here was the series back handspring layout. You notice that slight knee bend, they will deduct for that, but capped off by a beautiful dismount to a stuck landing. Clara has glue on her feet this evening.
She had a big smile through that entire sequence right there, and the entire team giving hugs to Colombo, the junior from Italy. As you said, well done after the fall from Hall. We featured Alexis Hankins, the junior from Omaha, Nebraska. Part of the reason is her success on the floor. 9-9 3 times, including this year. Last week, a 9.875 against Rutgers.
Alexis is so fun to watch on floor exercise. She opens it up with a very difficult full twisting double back. Hop to the side, but controlled lunge. Front layout to front half and a sky-high split jump.
Well, we can tell you that Colombo a new career high for the junior on beam with a 9.85.
Very well deserved. Excellent extension and positioning on those leaps. Always smiling Alexis Hankins has one more pass. Big double tuck. That was the best landing of all of them. What a redemption tour for Alexis Hankins. At the end of the routine, when you're tired, she gets amazing height on the double tuck, pointed toes, and her family loves it. So great having them in the crowd.
Remember, she's from Omaha, just down the road in Nebraska. Speaking of Nebraska, we move back to the Cornhuskers. After Colombo with the new career high, it's Caitlin Higgins, the senior from Walworth, Wisconsin. The Minnesota transfer with the unique setup to the beam, a career high of 9.9. She had a 9.875 versus Iowa.
And speaking of redemption, Caitlin had a large break last week on balance beam. This is an opportunity for her to redeem herself.
Hankins with a 9.925. New career high for Hankins.
Beat jump to very difficult sheep jump. Took her eyes off the balance beam. Now here is the moment where Caitlin struggled last week. It's a triple series. 2 back handsprings to a layout. No problems this week. No problems this week. Very nice full turn. Nice straddle jump, hitting the required 180-degree split position. And just the gator pike. If she could stick this, it'd be big. That was near flawless by Caitlin Higgins. We might see a match score to Alexis Hankins on floor. It becomes so nerve-wracking knowing you've had a fall the meet before, and she nails the series, finishes the routine, sees the ground, and a big smile after the dismount. She knows all the hard work she put in paid off in that moment.
Well, you said it. Hankins had a 9.9 career high. She topped it. Higgins with a 9.9 career high. We'll wait and see if she can top that. I think you believe she will.
I hope she will. The routine deserves it.
Lexi Edwards, the junior from Richmond, Virginia, with a super fun 70s routine described by her head coach as an old soul.
Big double pike for Lexi Edwards. Talk about control. Perfect landing. One and a half to front layout.
I can tell you Higgins did not top that 9.9. She had a 9.875. Lexi won the floor title last week against Rutgers with a 9.925 career high.
Lovely split position in those leaps. Love seeing the team do the routine with her on the sidelines. Last pass for Lexi Edwards. Big double tuck, flares it out for a perfect landing. That was a fantastic routine. This Ohio State team is so well conditioned for these floor routines. They are going big at the end, and nice muscle pose of power for Lexi Edwards.
Ohio State has posted the two highest individual scores so far. Hankins with a 9.925 on floor, and Miller with that floor, and Miller with that same score on the bars. Now it's Kinsey Davis, the sophomore from Huntersville, North Carolina. 9.85 career high set this year against Iowa.
Kinsey is such a confident and aggressive beam worker. Exactly the mindset you need when you have to hit.
Buckeyes with back-to-back 9.925s on the floor.
Back handspring layout, another triple series. She's hyping herself up on balance beam. I think she's singing, which, hey, she can do it all. Very nice full turn. Landed on high toe. And just the dismount. It's a side aerial to a layout full, top full, to a stick. It is redemption night in Devaney Center. That was amazing after her fall on bars to come back with a new mindset, completely fresh slate, and hit a routine when they needed it most. And that was the highlight for me. The triple series, nails it, and then an amazing dismount. Heather Brink is pumped.
The Kinseys are big time for Nebraska. Of course, they're missing Kinsey Roby, but Kinsey Davis, an outstanding performance on the beam.
That should score very high. She deserves it. I mean, what an amazing beam routine.
Jenna Lavac, after seeing Hankins and Edwards with 9.925s. It's the freshman's chance on the floor for the Buckeyes.
Big opening pass here for Jenna. It's a full twisting double pike. Lost a little control there on the landing. You noticed her front foot move.
Kinsey Davis, a new career high, 9.9 for Nebraska.
Very nice combination pass, a 1.5 to a front layout. One more pass for Jenna Layback. She ends it with a sky-high double tuck. Nice job working through that. Her knees looked like they buckled a little bit, and she managed to control a very nice lunge out of it and finish a great routine.
She's got 3 floor titles already, all 3 in January.
Nice height on that double back. Notice the knees just there at the end, but she worked right through it. Great job for the freshman.
You see Kinsey Davis, that 9.9 is the best score for any Nebraska gymnast tonight as she makes way for Catherine Clayler, a junior from Houston, Texas, part of Stars Gymnastics, career high 9.9 set last year, 9.775 season high versus Illinois in their last meet.
And lots of pressure here for Catherine. Remember that fall from Asia Hall. She needs to take one skill at a time, and she's doing it so far.
9.875 for Jenna Layback on the floor for the Buckeyes.
Lovely switch leap into beat jump. Nebraska doing a very nice job hitting those split positions. Great confidence on that front toss in a piked position. And just the dismount here for Catherine. A stick would be big. Wow. Now that's how you come back from a fall. Great job working through that front toss. Her right shoulder dipped down, but she brought it back and capped it off with a 1.5 stuck landing. Heather Brick is jumping in heels.
She got some air there.
She got some air.
Here the assistant coach saying, that's what I'm talking about. Last on the floor for the Ohio State Buckeyes, JoJo Warga. As you see already, no pressure. The scores are solid for the first 5 for Ohio State.
If JoJo can go big here and knock that 9.575 out of counting, this could be a huge number for Ohio State.
9.8 career high, 9.8 season high for Warga.
She opens it up with a very difficult combination pass, 2.5 twists into a punch front. Brilliant landing, perfectly controlled. JoJo also does a 2-pass floor routine. 1 pass to go, and it's difficult.
Baylor follows up Davis's 9.9 with a 9.9 for the Cornhuskers on the beam.
Last pass for JoJo. It's a front handspring to a front double twist. Very difficult. Needs to be really tight in the body. Oh no. You tighten the body. Oh no. Oh, I saw that from the get-go. She didn't get enough rotation, and unfortunately does not land on her feet. Has to sit it down. But don't forget the first pass. It was lovely. 2.5 twists to a punch front. So difficult, so much happening. And then she gets so much height here on the double twist, but just not enough rotation. Doesn't get her shoulders over her knees to land it perfectly.
Remember, those scores were solid, though. The lowest score was 9.575. Michaela Curtis now gets a chance for exhibition. She's got a career high in this event. A big score of 9.95.
Michaela does a very unique combination off the top of this routine that has been giving her some trouble.
sports media and communications major. Curtis has also been a leader in the classroom as a Nebraska Scholar athlete.
Very nice job on that triple series. Little break in the hips, but she brought it back nicely. Great control on the full turn. Full turn. Nice switch leap into a split jump. And just the dismount. Round off, 1.5 twist to a crazy arched back salute. My back hurts watching her do that, Dean.
Yeah, that was after Nebraska had already set a new team season high on the beam with a 49.35. Their previous high was a 49.2. And by the way, the 49.35 is the best score in any event so far for Nebraska.
She was so excited after that landing, she almost forgot to salute the judges. But what an exciting moment for the senior to hit at home.
Ohio State will also have an exhibition on the floor as Maddie Pike gets a chance to show Meredith Polisiewicz what she can do. Again, this will not count toward the team score, but a good opportunity for Pike to perform for the Buckeyes.
These exhibition spots are very important. It's an opportunity to show your team's depth.
Kayla Curtis with a 9.85 on the beam in exhibition for Nebraska.
Big double tuck to open up the routine for Maddie. A nice control on that landing.
Maddie Pike, a freshman from Mason, Ohio.
Good job on those leaps. She needed a little more rotation at the end there. Second pass, a 1.5 to a front layout. Nicely done. One more pass for the freshman. Very nice front handspring to a Rudy, a front 1.5 twist to a double stag jump. Best pass of all three to finish up this Ohio State floor lineup. Such a nice way to cap off her floor routine and Ohio State's floor performance, to know that this freshman can deliver in competition.
Nebraska with a season high on the beam. The Buckeyes still leading, but a tight one here in Lincoln. When we return, Nebraska's on the floor to close it out. Ohio State 31st in the country on the beam, right here on the Big Ten Network.
Your win-loss record against Big Ten teams is huge, and this meet right now, with as close as it is, can come down to who competes in one session at championships. Really important rotation we have coming up right now, and both teams need to go big.
Davis with a 9.9, Thaler in the anchor with a 9.9. You talked about recovering from the fall from Hall. Nebraska did just that. Nebraska did just that.
Nebraska has done such a great job being a team. When someone has a mishap, you have to come together, reset, and focus on what you're doing. And so far, on bars and beam, they've done a tremendous job doing that.
Take a look at the Ohio State Buckeyes from the floor. 9-9-2-5 right in the middle. Alexis Hankins, Lexi Edwards, solid on the floor for Ohio State.
Such a great floor lineup. They definitely did not want to count that 9.575, and we're hoping for a big number from JoJo Warga. But this middle area of the Ohio State floor lineup is killing it. It is not, we can't forget about that when we have a fall at the end. Really nice job there for them.
Ohio State, their final warm-ups on the beam. The Buckeyes, 31st in the country. Their high score is 49.15. Unfortunately, just like Nebraska, Ohio State without one of their superstar freshmen, Tori Vetter. She's 4th in the conference, 13th in the nation, and we've not been able to see her last week or this week. Hopefully she'll be ready for the Big Ten championships.
That's right, Dean. And last week, Ohio State was a little bit shaky on balance beam at home. I know Meredith Pelisivic told us that this event can go big for them. They have potential to score very high. They just have to stay in the moment, not get ahead of themselves, and do the routines like they do in practice.
Both teams getting ready. Speaking of teams, love our Big Ten. Speaking of teams, love our Big Ten Network team, including a couple birthday boys. Today's birthday on audio, Ryan Curtis, and a couple days ago, Misha Allman celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday, celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to some of the outstanding people that work for us on the Big Ten Network as we head into the final rotation. If you're Ohio State right now, you're trying to go 3-0 in the Big Ten. The lead is now tight. Does that add a little extra nerves?
Of course it does, and it's hard to not look at the scoreboard as an athlete. I know I did, but in this moment, Ohio State needs to stay focused on what they're doing, not get ahead of themselves, not focus on scores, and control the controllable, which is doing a balance beam routine.
Fifth-year head coach Meredith Pelisivic with some instruction to Zoe Schweitzer, the junior from Pittsburgh. 9.875 career high set this season. Last week against Rutgers right here on the Big Ten Network, Zoe Schweitzer with a 9.675. It'll be Schweitzer, Hankins, Oliveros, Pritchard, Berger, and Jennings. Their season average you see right there, 48 plus. Their high is a 49.15 as Zoe Schweitzer ready to go for Ohio State.
Zoe led off uneven bars for Ohio State. She's in this leadoff spot again. Lots of trust goes into the leadoff performer as she opens up the routine with a very nice front aerial beat jump connection. Solid back handspring layout. Notice the front foot came up a bit, but she planted it right back down. Very difficult split ring jump, took her eyes off the balance beam. Little shaky on that full turn, but managed to minimize the deductions very well. And just the dismount, she wants the stick. Excellent job by Zoe Schweitzer. That you can see why she's the leadoff performer with that kind of confidence. She moved really nicely through that routine, a little sideways on the dismount. The judges should take a deduction for that, for the direction of the dismount, but that's a stuck landing.
You see the floor order for Heather Brink and Nebraska. They start with the rookie from Canada, Emma Spence, who had a 9.825 last week against Illinois.
Heather Brink told us a big component for this Nebraska floor lineup is not just doing, but performing.
Yeah, she said she wanted the athletes to have more fun on the floor.
Very important to have fun doing floor exercise as Emma opens up with a very complicated combination pass. A little knees there in the double twist. Will be an execution deduction. some trouble there on the double wolf turn. She put her knee down, which is a deduction, I believe a pretty large one. Last pass for Emma, it's a double tuck. Little short there on the landing. Notice her chest was down when she landed, which resulted in the step forward. Unfortunately, they are going to deduct her for that double wolf turn. But the last pass was very nice. Looked like she just needed a little more rotation, had to step forward.
With this meet so tight, we'll keep an eye on the score for Spence as Schweitzer in with a 9-7 on beam for Ohio State. Up next, Alexis Hankins. Remember, she's from Omaha, Nebraska. Her career high is 9-9. Last week on the Big Ten Network, she had a 9-8-5.
Nice full turn to open up the routine. Great save there on her back handspring layout. Front toss to a beat jump, kept the arms moving. That is a requirement to count your connections. Your arms must keep moving. Nice required leap pass. Just the dismount for Alexis. It's a round off to a double twist. Nice job, a little lack of control there on the landing. Notice how she was leaning back as she saluted, which the judges will take a deduction for, but overall, very nice routine. Great height off the balance beam, and just that hop backwards needed to absorb a little bit more, but great job coming back from that early fall in the competition.
Speaking of falls, Aisha Hall will try to forget her fall in the last apparatus. The freshman from Rogers, Arkansas, had a 9.825 against Illinois in the last meet. And Heather Brink saying that she has a sultry side with this performance.
First pass for Asia, it's a huge double tuck. Oh no. Large bounce out of the double tuck and had to put her hand down. That is a fall. Front handspring to a Rudy, another very bouncy landing. Nice extension there on those jumps. Last pass from Asia, front layout to a front full. So nice, such a nice lift on that second element. She looked a little nervous throughout that routine. She gets amazing height there, doesn't absorb the landing, and just looks like she slips a bit, has to plant her hand on the ground, which is a deduction. Not the routine she wanted. But another great opportunity for the remainder of this lineup to come back and not have to count her score.
You see the 9.775 from Alexis Hankins. That'll bring up Hannah Oliveros, the sophomore from Streamwood, Illinois. Career high 9.9, season high 9.825 last week, a 9.8 against Rutgers.
Very difficult mount there, press mount to a split handstand. Hannah is a very aggressive beam worker. She starts off with a difficult combination. A side aerial to a back handspring, oh no. Aerial to a back handspring, oh no. She had some trouble with that in warm-up.
Hall with the fall on the floor for Nebraska, and now Oliveros with the fall on the beam. Ohio State, prior to Hall taking off on the floor, was up by just .300 overall.
Little shaky in the remainder of this routine. It's so difficult having to continue a routine after falling. Side aerial to a full. Needed to control that landing a little bit more. Of course, she's bummed with the ball, but nice job getting back up there and continuing the routine.
So as we mentioned, both teams with falls are still waiting on the score for Hall, as Michaela Curtis, the senior from Savannah, Georgia, won her first individual title of her career with a 9.85 on the floor against Illinois. Her career high is a 9.9. Hall with a 9.075, as ready to rock is Michaela Curtis.
And Heather Brink told us that this routine is Michaela to a T. She is sassy.
She works the worm in here, right?
I believe so. Big opening pass for Michaela. Big double pike. Little bouncy there on that landing. Front full to front layout. Nice control there.
She needs a big score. Ohio State now up a full point.
And there's the worm. Another signature element of Michaela's, a back handspring to her head.
You had a teammate at Michigan that did the moonwalk, right, Paige?
I did. Shout out to Paige Ziziski for her moonwalk on balance beam. Great job on her last pass, a double tuck. She's excited. Gets the team excited. This was the most controlled landing of all three. She gets a really nice lift and a very controlled landing, keeps the front foot planted, and is hyped.
She has been hyped the entire night, including on exhibition. Well done for the senior. We move back to the Buckeyes, as I mentioned, 31st in the country on beam. Getting back in the lineup, Emma Pritchard, who missed the last two, the sophomore from Asheville, Ohio.
And Emma and the remainder of this Ohio State lineup do have pressure. As you notice her giving herself some last points of emphasis. She pointed to her stomach and said, "Be tight," and she's right. Very important part of balance beam, and so far so good.
Curtis with a 9.850 on the floor for Nebraska.
Important element here. Back handspring layout, step out. Slight arm circle, but very nice body positioning on the landing. Switch leap to straddle quarter. Her back leg was a little low on that switch leap. The judges will take a deduction for that. And just the dismount. Cat leap to a side aerial full. Great job by Emma getting this beam lineup back on track after Hannah's fall.
Emma Pritchard back in the lineup for Meredith Paula Civic. And when they needed a solid performance, I'd say that was a solid performance.
Really nice job squaring her hips on the balance beam, seeing the beam, and keeping her stomach tight, just like she told herself before the routine.
Move back over to the floor. Michaela Curtis, that 9.85 ties her season high and makes way now for Caitlin Higgins, the Minnesota transfer, career high 9.9, season high 9.825, last week a 9.775. This is a new floor routine for her this season.
And all of the choreography is done by their volunteer assistant coach, Sophia. Nice opening pass. It's an E element.
Lead has been cut down to .125. Nebraska getting closer.
Nice Rudy for Caitlin. Nice leaps. Just the last pass for Caitlin. A 1.5 to a lovely front layout. Great job by Caitlin Higgins.
The Devaney starting to get pumped up here. Let's take a look at the last pass for Higgins.
Such great control on the front layout. She knew exactly where she was. Finish off the routine. It's nothing quite like hitting a floor exercise routine at home.
Stephanie Berger, part of this great freshman class where every freshman has contributed. She had a career high last week of a 9.875 against Rutgers. By the way, Pritchard with a 9.85 on the beam. That's a new season high for her.
Very nice side aerial for Stephanie.
Higgins with a 9.9 on the floor for Nebraska, making this one tight.
As Stephanie Berger does not feel the pressure with that lovely back handspring layout.
Higgins tying her career high for Nebraska.
Very nice switch leap to split half. A little bit low on her back leg, but nice job controlling the landing. And when they need it, Stephanie Berger goes big. Can she match the Caitlin Higgins 9.9 from floor?
That was huge because Nebraska had cut the lead to just .075. Let's check out her dismount.
She does a leap directly into a side aerial, into a fold. Notice the chest positioning. Perfect for a stuck landing.
Yeah, that says it all right there. Big, deep breath. Celebration with all of her teammates. Now it's Kylie Pieringer, the junior from Ramsey, New Jersey. 4 times she's had a 9.9. This year, her season high is a 9.85 against BYU. Kylie Pieringer did not go the last 2 meets. Heather Brink getting her back in the lineup as you take a look at her first pass.
Very nice sky-high double back from Kylie. Second pass, big 1.5 to very nice front layout. So far, front layout, so far, so good. Great job on those leaps. Lost the toe point a teeny bit. Last pass, big double pike. See the arm raise from the judge. That means that she did step out of bounds, unfortunately, so that is a flat 10th deduction. Great job for Kylie getting back into this floor lineup. Not the last pass she wanted, but a great job making it through. And her heel is over the line, which means it is a 10th deduction, unfortunately.
So the anchor for the Ohio State Buckeyes with her head coach over her right shoulder, Sydney Jennings, ready to go. Sydney Jennings, career high 9.825, season high 9.775. She had a 9.0 last week against Rutgers.
Had some trouble last weekend. So this is a great opportunity for her. Sydney does a unique series combination. A back handspring to a side aerial. She looked a little off after the back handspring, but no problems on that side aerial.
Pieringer, Nebraska, 9.725 on the floor.
Split half to straddle half. Excuse me, switch leap to straddle half. Big dismount for Sydney Jennings. I don't think it was a stick, but they needed that hit regardless to drop the earlier score from Hannah Oliveros. Little hop to the side. But what a way to come back after that fall.
Yeah, that was big. Ohio State was up just .225 prior to Jennings getting up on the beam for Meredith Paula-Civic. So that will put some extra pressure on Katie Kuhneman, a freshman from Longview, Texas, a 9.650 set last week against Illinois.
Katie opens it up with a big double back. Great job, little low with the chest, but controls the lunge out of it. Second pass for Katie, front layout to front full. Nice job.
Jennings in with a 9.85 for Ohio State. Mathematically, the Buckeyes have won it regardless of the score, but we'll see what Kuhneman can bring as a freshman for Nebraska.
Nice leaps there, very good job hitting her split positions. And just the last pass, a 1.5 to a front layout. And the cutest smile ever, as Heather Brink told us, and she is right. Great job by Katie anchoring this floor lineup at home. Really nice height there on the 1.5 and a beautiful front layout. Her legs were glued together.
Yeah, they say it's about wins and losses, but Nebraska with that team high score on the beam. They also saw Kinsey Davis win 2 individual events on the ball on the beam. We have more action as now JoJo Warga will do the exhibition on the beam for Ohio State.
Reminder that exhibition routines do not count toward the team total, but it's a great opportunity for JoJo to gain some confidence on beam. Front aerial to a back handspring. Dipped her left shoulder a little bit, but moved through it nicely.
Ohio State's going to move to 3-0 in the conference with a new team season high of 196.675.
And very well deserved, as this Ohio State team has shown so much fight tonight. Gorgeous front toss in a piked position, so solid on that landing. And just the dismount for JoJo, a gainer pike to a stuck landing. I hope Meredith Palisivic takes note of that routine, because JoJo should be in their beam lineup.
Ohio State posts 15 scores of 9-8 or higher tonight. That's right, 15, 9-8 or plus. Berger, by the way, with a 9-8-7-5. Meredith Paul